You've tuned into The Mountain Gardener with your host, Ken Lain. Gardening can be challenging, but with these simple insider tips, you'll reap huge rewards. Now, let's tune into today's Mountain Gardener with Ken and Lisa. So I was roaming the backyard, the parking lot of the garden center, in the back behind the well house, and I am stunned at how big some of the weeds are getting. I've got to get on this. I mean, the dandelions and oh my gosh, they're getting huge. It got away from me. They're growing. They're actively growing. So the weeds are starting to wake up. And you're starting to see this on your fruit trees. The buds are starting to wake up. I'm seeing the Oregon grape hollies. The flowers are starting to open. The peonies are up out of the ground by 6-8 inches, at least in my gardens. And I think you'll look closely, you'll see the eyes coming up out of the ground. They rest under the ground and they come back fresh every year. Spring is here. It feels like last year it would have been middle to the end of February before you saw this. Well, now it's at least 3 weeks early this year. So we're seeing spring. It's been so nice. And so I love it. I'll take it all day long. We do need one last big storm to hit us. That would be kind of nice with moisture. That would be great. I don't like cold for just cold's sake, but cold with a storm. Oof, that makes the forest happy. Hydrates everything. So for your native evergreens, I'm advising right now, when we have a warm winter like this, the bugs are bad. And we are seeing aphids on the pine trees right now. So we're already spraying some at the garden center. And I think if you look, you might see those. What that also means is the bugs you don't see will be bad. And so the bark beetle, the ips beetle, the flathead borers, the scale on the pinyon pines, your native plants will be at high risk this year. If you've got native trees at all, I would say treat them, or they'll just decimate them. And so a bark beetle is cutest little beetle. It's black. Maybe it's a 1/4 inch long. And you wouldn't think they could take down 100-foot ponderosa pine, but they come in colonies or groves and they cut underneath the bark and they just turn that cambium layer, the sweet bark just underneath the wood, just underneath the bark. That's their favorite. And they just turn it to Swiss cheese until finally you might as well have just taken an axe and cut the bark all the way around that tree till no nutrients can get up top and the tree dies from basically starvation. They're going to be bad. I'm telling you, I've seen this before. This is not my first time around with this kind of season. Treat them well. And a pinyon pine that's got some girth on it, some size, these evergreens that are so beautiful. Some of you built your patios around these native trees. They cannot be replaced. I mean, they're 200 years old. They'll never be replaced in even your grandkids' time. And so really take care of those, take notice. So when we have a harsh winter, the bark will actually freeze and it kills back many of those beetles. And so we get a reprieve. When it's warm like this, they stay active. They start earlier. And so we've not quite seen pinyon pine scale, but we're starting to train our staff, just going, okay, here's what I think is going to happen. Be aware from that first baggie of white cottony egg casings that are classic pinyon pine scale. We know how to treat those. And so we're kind of the plant doctors for the region. And so people come to us for, hey, is this dangerous? Yeah, it's dangerous. What do you do? Should I do something? Yeah, you should really do something before it kills a tree. Here's what you do. And so right now, I would say, if you've got any natives, I would say oaks to junipers to pines, fertilize them now, right now. Like, time is of the essence. Use the 7-4-4 all-purpose plant food. And here's why I say that. It seems like it's a little bit early. We're only 2 months into this year. Okay, I get it. But these plants only typically they flush growth one time in spring, and that's it. So if you can put that fertilizer, the plant foods, down underneath the drip line, the outer branches of that tree, as they wake up, so as we get storms, as we get some weather, it's going to release a little of this all natural food. It's organic. It's going to float down through the soil band. So when that plant wakes up, it goes, wow, this soil is really rich. God, I'm just going to force more growth. Plus, you've got another month and a half to 2 months worth of bud growth. So those buttons on the end of the branches, that's what's going to elongate. You still have time to put some food down there and make that button, that new candle growth bigger, juicier. It'll elongate. The bigger, chubbier it is, the more growth you'll have. And so you can grow your way out of a stressed tree, but you need to time it. You need to work with the environment, not against it. Once it's already elongated, it's too late. It's not going to grow again until next year. But you can put stuff on now and you still have time to really make a change for the health of that tree. It does two things. It makes the new growth better, richer, stronger, better color. It also, right after that, the trees put on a new ring of wood. And so if you can make that tree really robust and it can really push some new growth, then put on a bigger ring of new wood, they can compensate for bark beetle damage. And so a healthy tree goes a long ways, but I think we'll see more stress. I hope we don't lose some trees. That's my fear. Then we have a fire problem, just all kinds. It's a trickle down thing. So take care of them. So I'd say you can finish your pruning right now. And if you see, you can start planting now. We've got some fruit trees. We were stocking up now. We've got our first loads of spruce trees and pines. We've got our first load of flowers. So it's starting to happen. So, and every week we'll have another truckload of plants. I mean, like full, we got 2 acres to fill up here. So you can't just do that all at once. It's pretty much a semi at a time. You just have from different farms. You're trying to get every department going. I will give you an invite. It's kind of a new, just words going out now. We'll have our ad program going out probably next week. But Spring Open House is going to be a hoot. For 64 years, Waters Garden Center has been gardening in the area. And so this will be our 64th Spring Open House. We call it a flower and fountain festival. So we start to introduce the new plants. So we'll have some brand new colors you've never seen. Actually, some brand new life you've never seen. New plant types or a dwarfed variety of that thing. So we're breeding plants, growing them, and then introducing them starting the spring. And that invite. So our growers will be here. We'll have different manufacturers. Some of the folks that make our fertilizers, they'll be here. And so you can talk directly to them. Like, how did you grow that? That's crazy. How did you even find that new desert willow? That's wild. And they'll explain it right there. And so they'll be here March 13th, 14th, and 15th. That's the weekend right before spring. It's right there, right at spring start. And we're hoping that it doesn't snow. We never know. We had the Spring Open House, not for so much for customers. It also gets us ready. So we got to fill the garden center up. That's a process to get this whole thing going and looking spot on for the first really big weekend of the spring season. That's kind of what's going on. So you'll hear more about that. I would guarantee you. You're kind of the first to tune in and hear. But March 13, 14, 15, I'm pretty sure those dates. I'm going from memory. But that'll be a big time fun event. Have a whole new load of fountains coming for that. So the 2026 varieties. The new pottery's already here. So we've got that out. So if you are looking at buying sets of pottery, don't wait. Don't let them get picked over. You want first dibs, especially if you need big ones. You want matching dig going down the steps or either side of the door or the garage. You don't want to wait till May. You want those early. Even if you're not ready to plant, grab the pots because they're hard to get matching ones. Those containers, they have to be brought in by basically container load, by truckload. Fountains, you don't order those one at a time. Not a good quality clay fountain. You've got to order them entire truckloads at a time. So that's all happening right now. All right, so got to wrap this one up. Waters Garden companion plants of February are Calgary carpet juniper, lily of the valley, pinyon pines, and peony.
Your grandmother would fall in love with these larger peony with so many colors to choose from.
There's nothing like the enormous flowers to add stunning pops of color.
Endearing springtime blooms are more than fragrant with luscious double flowers.
Shop the most perennial peonies in Prescott by store or online at watersgardencenter.com. For a more fruitful garden, increase success in the landscape that just feels better, then tune in daily to the Mountain Gardener podcast. Subscribe through your favorite podcast streamer or visit watersgardencenter.com. Better yet, visit me directly right here at Waters Garden Center. Thanks for tuning in.